What's going on, everybody? What's going on? What's going on? Happy Tuesday, July 2nd. July 2nd. I hope everybody's having a great day. I hope everybody's having a great day. I am having a great day. Um, we just left one of my clients, the Credit Union of Atlanta. I've been helping them with their marketing. So, as you guys know, I own a marketing agency and a software company. It's an all in one system that we use to help clients organize their workflow, organize just a daily routine and everything, right? Just organize it all. So, um, got the email last week that we won Credit Union of the Year. So that was a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful accomplishment. I'm so happy about that, right? Because I'm just happy about that, man. That's a big accomplishment for me and my team. It's one of the biggest credit unions here. They've been established since 1928. So for me to have the opportunity and my company to have the opportunity to be able to help them continue to grow and continue to be a beacon of excellence for our community, it's a beautiful thing, and I'm happy about that. Today, right, I wanted to jump on here and I want to go over a few things, right, because last week I was at the end of last week, right, I had a meeting with one of my clients. And in that meeting, I was breaking down a few things with her. Okay. And as I was breaking it down, I said to myself, I said, you know what? This would be a good talking subject for me to go live and talk to my people about. It's be a good thing for me to go live and talk to all my people about. So, what I want y'all to do is make sure that you hit the share button because this is going to be some real good information. I don't know what you're doing right now at 8:45 on Tuesday, but if you are looking to grow as a person, if you're looking to grow as a business, if you're just looking to grow, period, I think this is a great video for you to watch because nothing is planned. I'm just finna flow. As you guys know, I teach FICO. I teach the scoring algorithm and the system of how credit is created and things like that. But today, I really want to break down a few pieces of this, right? I want to break down a few things. And I want to show you guys, right? I tell people all the time, focus on the content. You got so many people out here in the world, they so focused on score, 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 score. But I always tell people it's always content versus score. You know, you want to make sure that the content is correct on the credit file. You want to make sure you optimize the credit file so that the content looks a certain way, you know. So, with that being said, what I want to do is, and y'all jump, y'all make sure y'all tune in, y'all make sure y'all say what's up, speak. It's okay to speak, It's this all love over here on this channel. Today we're streaming live from Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn. I think we're on X, which is formerly known as Twitter, and I think we're on one of my other Facebook pages as well. So we streaming live across the board. Okay. So being that we streaming on all of these channels right now, I want to make sure that I deliver some real good information. So y'all make sure y'all comment, you know, YouTube, hit the like button, get me in the algorithm because this is going to be some powerful information. Now, what I'm about to do now is I'm going to share my screen. Okay. So let's see if we could do this here. Let's see. I'm going to present and I'm going to share. We're going to share this screen right here. Let's share this. All right, cool. Now, we're not going to go through this whole thing, but I got to break this down to y'all because this is exactly what I was talking about last week when I was working with my client, and I wanted to really just come on live and just break down some things to y'all so I could show you. See, I tell people it's always content versus score because you can always fabricate the score. right? You could fabricate the score. So today, what I want to talk about is ways that you could fabricate the score, and why it's important to build the content and have the right content on the credit file. Okay, so now what we're gonna be talking about right here is, so let's just jump to this screen here, right? This is the map. All right, this is the map. So at the end of the day, this is what people need to know, right? You want to make sure that you optimize your personal credit file. That's why we always start with the personal credit file. You want to make sure you optimize the personal credit file and have that looking a certain way. And then once you optimize the personal credit file, you want to put it up. You want to put it in the garage, put a car cover over it, because we're no longer going to operate on personal credit, right? We're no longer operating on personal credit. We're going to operate on business credit, right? But in order for us to operate on business credit the way that we need to operate on business credit, we need to make sure that our personal credit is optimized looking a certain way, right? So this is what I always teach people, right? So you want to make sure that you optimize your personal credit file. And we're going to break a piece of this down because I'm going to show you how people could fabricate the personal credit file in certain areas, right? And let's not use the word fabricate. Let's just use the word get more data points. Okay, let's just use that word. Now, once we optimize the personal file, then we want to make sure that we build the business credit file the right way. Okay. As you can see on the business credit file, I always make sure that we start with the address, because one of the most important things is that let me make sure we good. Hold on. Let me listen over here. Make sure we still got, okay, yeah, we good. All right. So I start with the addresses. And the reason why I start with the addresses is because wherever you put this name, wherever you put this business name at, you need to make sure that it has the same addresses across the board. That's very important. You got to make sure you got the same addresses across the board, because it's always, when you're dealing with banks and when you're dealing with financial institutions and things like that, it's always about risk. You're either going to be high risk or you're going to be low risk. Now, the objective is to lower the risk as much as possible. So we want to make sure that we lower the risk as much as possible, right? So the reason why we don't want multiple addresses on a credit file is because it could show an underwriter a sign of instability, right? And even when we talk about the personal credit file, right? If I'm an underwriter and I'm looking at somebody's credit file to determine whether I'm about to do business with this person or not, right? And I'm looking at their credit file and I see a whole bunch of addresses everywhere, right? If I see a whole bunch of addresses everywhere, then in my mind, I'm gonna probably be like, where did this person live? Why did this person hop around so much? Why did this person move around so much? Why they got so many addresses? Right? So one of the first things that we want to make sure that we do on a personal credit file is take off all of those older addresses that you had on the file. You want to make sure you get rid of those addresses, right? Because if you only got one address on the file, then that underwriter that's looking at the file is going to possibly say, you know what? This person is stable, you know. But if they looking at your file and they see a whole bunch of addresses, then they're gonna feel like you probably unstable, right? So let's get all those files, those old addresses off the file. Now, another thing is, let's just say, for instance, if you do have collection accounts on your file. Now we're talking about payment history, right? Let's say you do got collection accounts. Sometimes that collection account could be on your file on the strength of an old address. That could be the only factor that's keeping that collection on your file, is that the addresses is matching up. So when you go optimize your credit file and you take off all of those old addresses, then at that moment, then whatever collection, if it's a collection on your file, that was um, associated with that address, it no longer have any association no more. You know, so that's why you want to make sure that you go through your file, find all the old addresses that you don't live at no more, and you want to take those addresses off the file because it's going to help you with removing that collection account, that charge off, or whatever that derogatory negative account is, if it's associated with just that address. You know, um, now, so you want to take off all them old addresses. The next thing, if you're looking at your credit file and you got a bunch of different names, or you got misspellings of your name, or if you got your middle name and your middle initial, take all that stuff off. You know, um, put only one name across the board. That's all you need. The way that bad information get on the credit file is typos, right? If you put an application in somewhere and whoever that human is, or that person that's inputting the data from that application that you just filled out, right? Once they put your social security number in there, it ties them to you, the person. Okay. So that's what ties them to you. So now as they type, if they type your first name, middle name, and last name, now that's going to attach to your credit file. Or let's just say, for instance, if they spelt your name wrong, then the misspelling that they just put in, being that they already identified you with your social, the misspelling that they just put in on your name is not going to attach to your file. You know, so this is how you get a bunch of different names on the credit file that's similar to yours, but not yours, because it's usually typos and errors like that. So when you look through the credit file and you find little things like that, little typos like that, you want to make sure that you get those typos corrected. Take all them old names off. Take all them old addresses off. Get that stuff out of there. Okay. Now, after you clean up the personal data, because remember, I told you the objective of what we're doing is we're optimizing the personal credit file so that the personal credit file will look a certain way. And if the personal credit file looks a certain way, by the time it gets to an underwriter in a financial institution or some type of lending program and they look at your personal file, they're going to see what they like. Okay. Now, remember, remember what I tell you. The main goal and the main objective is to lower the risk. So we're going to look at several areas. We're going to look at several areas where we can lower the risk because that's what we need to do. We need to lower the risk. Okay. So now I know we went on addresses, but that's all what we need to talk about anyway, because it's all a part of optimizing the personal credit profile, right? It's all a part of that. Now, when we talk about the business, right? Don't never, ever, 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 ever put no P.O. box on your business. Because if you put a P.O. box on your business, now guess what? You just increase the risk. Because if you're dealing with a financial institution, or if you're dealing with a bank or an underwriter, and they pull up that business and they see that it's a P.O. box, guess what? They're going to shoot you down. And the reason why they're going to shoot you down, you got to ask yourself this. If somebody came to you and said, hey, can I borrow $50,000? And you was in a position to give them the 50,000, but then you go look at their address and you see that their address is a temporary place, is not even a real location. You know, your mind, you might be like, man, listen, I'm finna get this person 50. What's the chances of them relocating or closing this P.O. box down and skedaddling with what I gave them? You got to look at it like that, especially when you're dealing with underwriters. You got to look at it like that, you know? So don't never register your business with a P.O. box. Okay. Don't never do that. Right. What I want you to do is I want you to get if you don't have a brick and mortar, go get you a virtual address. Okay. Get you a virtual address. Now, worst case scenario is using your residential address. Now, The reason why I'm against using the residential address, the reason I'm against that is because once you register that business with your residential address, your address is now public records. That means a person could look up your business and they could find out where you live. And I ain't gonna hold you up, right? It's a lot of weird things in the world. I ain't gonna say weird people, but it's a lot of weird things in the world, you know. And one thing that I like and one thing that I enjoy is my privacy. If I go out and I work all day, when I come home, that's my oasis. That's my safe place. That's where I could wind down. I could kick my shoes off. I could hang out with my family. I could chill, right? I ain't got to worry about none of that other stuff. You know, as much as we try to make everybody happy as far as business go, we just can't make everybody happy, right? It could be a small situation or a small misunderstanding, and you got somebody that's 38 hot at you about a small misunderstanding. You know, we're gonna jump back in here another day, and I'm gonna talk about the four agreements because one of those agreements is never take anything personal. That's a hard agreement because whenever somebody do something to you or do something directed towards you, it's hard not to take it personal. But you have to understand that sometimes people move based on an agreement that they made with themselves. So if they woke up today and they was like, man, today gonna be a effed up day, you know, or if they say, man, today ain't nothing gonna go right today, they setting the tone, they setting the pace for their day. So they making that agreement. So as the day go, everything is the same way that they agreed. They already set the pace. So when that person come across you in life on that day and they got a bad attitude or they acting nasty towards you or whatever, right? We can't take it personal because we got to be the bigger people to understand that the only reason that this person is moving like this is because of an agreement that they made with themselves, right? So I'm not trying to get off track, right? But what I'm telling y'all is this. That's why you don't want to put your personal address attached to your business because anything could happen, right? Because in business we dealing with strangers, we dealing with a bunch of different type of people, so anything could happen. So you don't want to make your public you don't want to make your home address public records for everybody to see, you know. So okay, now NAICS code, that's your industry code. Okay, I'm gonna give y'all a tip tonight. I'm gonna give y'all a tip. I want y'all to share this video, please. Now, um, the NAICS code that I love to use and that the banks love to see is 541611. Okay, 541611. If you look that up, that is management, administrative management, consulting, and the 541 piece is like scientific. So that's a really good code for you to use. Okay. Um, so, but look up that because this is going to tell whether your business is a high risk business or if your business is in a industry that's going to get automatic declines. People don't do their due diligence before they start their businesses. You got to make sure you do your due diligence because you need to make sure that you're not starting a business in a high risk business that's going to get you automatically declined. Okay, so I got a list of businesses that's high risk, and then I got another list of businesses. Well, I got a list of businesses that's high risk, that's going to be automatic decline on any type of funding. And then I got another high risk list that's not automatic decline, but it is subject to a stricter underwriting guideline. So that means that the underwriter is going to look a little bit deeper into that file before they say yay or say nay. But then you got some industries that's just going to be automatically declined. They ain't going to give you nothing, right? So now, after we come through that, we want to make sure we got a business phone number, not your cell phone. Go ahead and get you a separate number, right? Go ahead and get you a separate number. Now, After you got that business phone number, you want to make sure that you register that business with 411.com. You want to make sure you put it in the databases, right? Because if an underwriter is looking at your credit file, or if they're looking at you as a potential borrower, right? They want to be able to find that business. Okay. So you need to make sure that you got your business registered with 411, right? And you want to make sure you get a professional website. And we do all of this. So if you need any of this stuff that I'm talking to you, anything that I tell you, we do that. And we've been doing it for the last 20 years. Okay. So you want to make sure you get a professional website. Now, the email. A lot of my colleagues and I, we bump heads on this one, right? Because me personally, right? If you got Gmail, if you got Yahoo, if you got Hotmail, if you got Ymail, if you got all of that on the back of your email, take it off. Go get you a professional email. So if your company is called GreenCap, don't let your email be greencap at Gmail or greencap at Yahoo. Don't do that. You know, you want to make sure that your business is professional. Your email address is professional. So do like a business at greencap.com, info at greencap.com, Jack Swayer at greencap.com, whatever it may be. You know, get that Gmail off, get that Yahoo off, get that off of there, right? Put you a professional email together, because you only get one chance to make a first impression, okay? So you want to make sure that you make the right impression the first time. So make sure you quit speedballing. Everybody be speedballing. Everybody want they trying to move fast so they can go do something, man. Take your time, because at the end of the day, you laying a foundation. And as you know, if you don't lay the foundation the right way, whatever you build on top of a faulty foundation is going to fall over. I don't care if you're talking about a relationship. I don't care if you're talking about business partners. I don't care if you're talking about anything. If you build it on a faulty foundation, it's going to fall over. Okay? It's going to fall over. So make sure you take your time to build the foundation the right way. All right. Take your time and build your foundation the right way. I can't tell y'all enough, right? That is very important. You got to make sure you build the foundation the right way. Now, let's go to the next phase. All right. Once we got the personal credit optimized and we built our business credit, because this is levels of this, right? Because we build business credit in 7 levels, but it's so many steps inside of each level, right? I'm just giving you a piece of the beginning, okay? Because you want to make sure you build it the right way, right? Now, you're gonna go, of course, get your Dun and Bradstreet number, because your Dun and Bradstreet number is how you're gonna attach vendors to the actual business. Because remember, once we optimize the personal credit file, we putting that up. We're not even gonna touch that no more. We're not even operating on the personal credit no more. The only thing we using the personal credit for is to be a strong personal guarantor for the business. All right, right? So I see so many times, that people, what they'll do is they'll get personal credit cards, and then they'll try to run their business with the personal credit cards, increase the utilization, knock it out of optimization, and now they stuck again with debt, trying to get it back down so that they can continue to move their business. And in the midst of that, their business suffered because they can't get the funding, or they can't get no working capital to move to that next phase of business. I've seen it so many times in these last 20 years. I've seen it so many times. So, but it's okay, right? Because I got it out the mud. I learned everything that I know from trial and error. And that's why I'm telling people, like, you really need to get you a coach and get you a mentor, somebody that can hold your hand and walk with you through this, because we didn't already bumped our heads already. We didn't already bumped our heads. We done bumping our heads. That's why you got to make sure you get you a coach and get you a mentor, somebody that could walk with you so that they can stop you from bumping your head where they bump their head at, right? I didn't bump my head too many times, right? And I'm not bulletproof from bumping my head. I know it's gonna be some other things that's gonna come up in life that I might bump my head again, but what we try to do now at this point in time in our life, man, we just try to make sure we keep moving and stay away from those accidents of bumping our heads. So that's why I tell people move calculated, you know, move calculated. Don't rush. Don't move out of desperation. It's so many people in the world, they move off of desperation because they might want something, they see something, and they want to get there so fast that they moving off desperation. Don't move off desperation. Slow down. Okay? Slow down. Make sure you build the foundation the right way. All right. Now, most people, and this is what I ask people, I say, hey, how many bank accounts you got for your business? And most people they say, Joe, I only got one bank account for my business. Right? They say, Joe, I only got one bank account. So I say, right, go open up five bank accounts for that business. Go open up five. Okay. I'm gonna tell y'all what banks to open, right? I tell my members that because I have relationships with banks and I have some of my favorite banks that I like to send my people through and let them work and start building relationships with them, So um as members, I show you which way to go to get that done. All right. Now let's jump back to here. So you're gonna open up five bank accounts. And the reason why you're gonna open up five bank accounts is because you want to make sure that you're a solid member with all five. So you're going to move your money through 90 to 120 days, meaning like make a deposit here, make a deposit here, make a deposit here. So you're going to make your deposits. Go into these banks and find good people. It's good people working in these banks, you know? So go in there, find you some good people because relationships is everything. I was telling my son and his girlfriend this on the way home, right? I said, what's more important than money? Right? That was the question that I asked him. Like, what's more important than money? Right? And they was fishing around trying to find the answer, but that the answer was relationships, right? Because when you establish relationships, the right relationships, it's so many things that could come from one relationship. Just imagine how many things could come from multiple good relationships, you know? So when you go in these banks and you start banking with these banks and you start building relationships with these banks, find somebody in there that you take a liking to, you know? Um, it'll be good when you walk in the bank and they call you by your name. Hey Pat, how you doing today? You know, um how was your weekend, you know and just build relationships because sometimes if you run into a wall, right, let's just say you run into a wall and something don't go through for whatever reason, it don't go through, you got that relationship you could call, or you could go up there and talk to that person and say, hey man, I applied for this, man, can you check and see what happened and why that didn't go through, you know that's the important thing about having relationships is because you'll have the ability to be able to find out more information on why certain things didn't, or it's just good, right? Make sure you establish these relationships. Now, if we got five banks and we've built a relationship, a solid relationship with all five, we've been making our deposits and everything. Let's just say, for instance, this bank gave you a $15,000 line of credit, and they gave you a $15,000 credit card. That's 30,000, all on business. Because remember, we're not operating on personal no more. Okay, so if they gave you a $15,000 line of credit and a $15,000 credit card, that's 30,000. Now, let's just say, for instance, if you went to all five banks and did the same thing, and they gave you the same thing, now you just got access to 150,000 all on the business. Okay. Now you don't have to worry about using your personal credit or knocking your personal credit out of optimization because now you operating on business. Okay. Now, there are some business credit cards that do report to the personal file. So, with that being said, I want you to make sure that you be mindful of those credit cards. Okay, be mindful, and you want to use those credit cards like a American Express Platinum card. So whatever you use on your American Express Platinum card, it got to be paid in 30 days. Don't carry no balance over. Okay, because any balance that you carry over from the American Express Platinum card is going to affect if you got an American Express Platinum on a personal. Okay, any balance that you carry over is going to affect your utilization, and as you know, utilization makes up 30% of your score. So in that 30%, you're getting 165 points. Now, to get the bulk of that, and that's what we're going to talk about a little bit too, to get the bulk of that 165 points, you want to make sure that your utilization stay between 1 and 6%. We're going to talk about that. Okay. Now, so we talked about that piece. Let's phase to the next one. Let's keep moving down. So what I'm going to do right now is I want to jump to this algorithm. Okay. I want to jump to this algorithm. All right, cool. So we're going to jump to this algorithm right here. Can I blow this up? Let me see if it'll let me blow this up. Maybe if I hit share. Nope, I don't want to hit share. No, 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 no. I really want to hit present. Okay, there we go. It's big now. All right, cool. So now, here we go, y'all. This is the algorithm, and let me show y'all some things, right? And this is where we finna really get real. Uh, we're gonna get to the science. Let's put it like that. Because everything in life is a science. All right. Now, we talking about FICO. Okay, we talking about the FICO score. All right, because I tell people all the time it's content versus score. Okay, content versus score. All right. Now, on personal credit, you got 5 factors combined that's creating a score. All right, you got payment history, and payment history makes up 35% of the score. So in that 35%, you're getting 192.5 points. All right. Now, anytime you got collections, charge-offs, late payments, anything deemed as derogatory on the file, it's pulling away from this 192.5. So as the collections, charge-offs, late payments, anything negative start to fall off, you start getting your points back in this 192.5. Okay. Now the objective is to not have anything derogatory on the file because remember what we're doing is we're optimizing the personal credit profile. We want to make sure that we optimize that file. All right. So if you don't have anything negative on the file at all, you will be getting this whole 192.5. Now, real quick, let me see if I could pull this thing up. Dang, I wanted to draw. I was trying to figure out a way to get my I was trying to find out how to get my iPad on here so that I can draw. Okay. I was trying to get my iPad on here so I could draw, but I can't. So I'm gonna try to do a new drawing. Let's see real quick. Y'all bear with me because I wanna put this up real quick. All right, let's see. Um, you know what? This is what I'm gonna do. Cause it when I was trying to get my dang on iPad up. So maybe it'll be better if I just did it in Canva. So let me just go open up Canva. It's okay. Y'all, we gonna get this together, y'all, because I'm finna teach y'all a lot tonight. So we're gonna do it in Canva. Before we even do that, all right. So let's do this. Let's go here, create a design. I'm going to let me share this tab. Okay, share this tab instead. Okay, so now we're on Canva. So I'm going to share design. Let's go here and let's go 1280 by 720. Let's go here. Okay. Now, so what we're gonna do is this. All right. Now, the lowest, let's go pull this up. I wanna do sub headline. Let's do this. The lowest credit score that anyone could possibly have is a 300. Okay. That's the lowest credit score that anyone could possibly have. Now, the highest credit score that anyone could possibly have, we're going to come over here. The highest score that anyone could have is an 850. All right. Now, remember, I told y'all everything is science. Okay. It's all science. So we finna break the science down. Now, the distance from 300 to 850 is, let's go put it in this middle. We're going to put it right in the middle. Okay. Now, the distance from 300 to 850 is 550, right? It's 550 points in between. Okay. Now, I already told y'all, let's go put some bullet points up over here. So we're going to add this and we're going to add bullet points. Let's do this. We're going to do that. All right. Now, I told y'all payment history makes 35%. Okay. And 35% equals 192.5. Okay. So it equals 192.5. Next, we got, oh, I need to get this all the way over here. Let's see. Let me do this. There we go. So next, we got utilization. Now, utilization makes 30% of the score. And in that 30%, you're getting 165 points. Okay. So you're getting 165 points from utilization. Now, remember payment history. Anytime you got collection accounts, anything deemed as negative, anything deemed as derogatory, it's pulling away from this 192.5. So as those This is how you have the bulk. So now you got all four of these mixes. 9 times out of 10, you're getting this whole 55 points. All right. And it's okay if you don't want all four, but that's the algorithm. That's the formula. Now, last but not least, we got inquiries. All right. Inquiries also make up 10% of your score. So in that 10%, you're getting 55 points as well. Okay. So now you got two different types of inquiries. You got a soft inquiry and you have a hard inquiry. Soft inquiry is when you're just checking your score. You're not really trying to do too much. All right. Um, so it's not going to affect you. Okay. A hard inquiry is when you actually go apply for something. And let's just say um, it's going to hurt you. It's going to take some points away because you're going to miss some of these 55 points. All right. So let's talk about the science. Now, if we take 35, 30, 15, 10, and 10 and add it up. So what I always ask people is anything complete, anything whole makes how much percent? Anything complete, anything whole, how much percent does it make? Okay. And that answer is 100. Okay. Now, so when we take this 35, 30, 15, 10, and 10 and add it up, we get exactly 100%. Okay. Now, when we take this 192.5, 165, 82.5, 55, and 55 and add that up, right? We get, okay, let's do this. We get 550. So we get the exact amount of points that's in between the 300 and the 850. So all we do, only thing I do is I take a person's, and of course, when we talk about consumer law, case studies, um, everything that I do, I use case laws. I use Metro 2 compliance as well, but I also use case laws. And the beautiful thing about America is a country that's built on laws. So if I go find a situation that happened in another um, courtroom for another case, and that case is similar to the case that we fighting with any of my clients, I'm gonna use that case law, right? And we're gonna get the same result. We're gonna get the same win from that other case, right? So that's the beautiful thing about case laws and knowing how to find case laws, search up case laws, consumer laws, all of that. That's the beautiful thing about that. Okay. So now let's just say, for instance, a person say, Joe, man, I ain't got no grandma. My grandma, she don't have no credit card. You know, um, what can I do? I really need that. I need to add some age. Oh, real quick, y'all. Let me come back because I need to show y'all this real quick. Let's go back because I need to show y'all something. Let's go back to Canva. I'm still on Canva, so let me go back here. Now, another situation where people run into problems at. Let me show y'all. Remember, I told you utilization makes up 30% of your score. So in that 30%, you're getting 165 points, and you want to keep it between 1 and 6%. Okay, so let's just say, for instance, we got a guy, right? He has a $10,000 card. Okay, he got a $10,000 card, and out of that 10,000, he got 9,000. Let's see, he got 9,995 U's. So he pretty much maxed out, y'all. Okay, he pretty much maxed out. So that means he's missing this whole 165 points because his utilization is maxed out. All right. Now, grandma could have had um grandma could have had that credit card, but if she don't, or if you don't have anybody that has that, this is my other company. This is Trade Line Wiz. All right. So right here, what we could do is hit age, and it's gonna bring my youngest card to the top. Okay, it's gonna bring my youngest card to the top, and then so my youngest card is 1 year, 5 months. Don't nobody buy these, right? Because they so young. Like the only time people come get these is when they kids are coming out of high school. and they ready to get them going with credit, right? They ready to get them a good start. So at this moment, they might say, hey, let me go ahead and get this added to my son's credit file. And now his score gonna shoot through the roof. And once his score shoot through the roof, now he'll be able to go get his own credit cards and he could start his mission. Okay. So don't nobody, as y'all can see, we get 3 slots per line, but you know, don't nobody get these because they so young. And most of the times what people doing is they'll put these cards on their file because remember what I told you, they operating on business. But even when you operating on business and that underwriter goes see your file, right? Remember, we got to come back here. Okay, let's go back to this. Let's go back here. All right. And then I'm gonna come back down. Let me see. Remember, right? Remember, I told you this. We operating on business. Okay, we operating on business. So when you apply for something on business, that underwriter is gonna go look at your personal credit file to see how it look, right? So I have a lot of people, they'll get these added to their personal file just so when they know that that underwriter is going to look, it'll show something, it'll have the file optimized. Okay. So now when I hit card age again, what it's gonna do is gonna bring my oldest card to the top. I think my oldest is like 35 years. Yeah, 36 years. So this is my oldest, it's 36 years. All right. Now, what that means is let's go to 35 because we had this scenario. So the first time what we talked about was uh when we first talked about, we talked about the fact that grandma added 35 years to little Teddy, um 25 years, which gave him a 60-year overall. So we took that 60 and divided by 6, which pushed his age up to 10 years. So now he got the bulk of the 82.5 points from age. All right. But also, we talked about this scenario. Okay, let's go back. We talk about this person has a $10,000 credit card with 9,995 used. So that means his utilization is at almost 100%. So his whole 165 points is shot, right? But let's just say, for instance, that person say, "Hey, Joe, I see you got a 50,000. So I want to add 50,000. I want to add this card, and I see you got a 20,000. So let me add this 50 and this 20. So that's 70,000. Okay. So you're gonna add this 20 and this 50. That's 70,000, right? So now let's come back here. So he just added, right? Let's go do the math. All right. He just added a 50. Come on now. Look at this. Y'all bear with me because we going in. We going in. All right. So now what he did was he just added a 50. Okay. And he also added a 20. Okay. So let's see. He added a 20. Now, so let's say 50, 60, 70, 80. So now he got a total credit of 80,000. Okay. Right. He got a total credit of 80,000 with only 9,995 used. Okay. So he have a total credit of 80,000 with 9,995 used. So now let's see what I want to do. Let me go to my good buddy. Let's go to my good buddy real quick because we need to see what's going on. All right. Come on. Do I need to log in? No, I'm good. Okay. So now what I want to do, all right, if I got 80,000, okay, let's just say I got 80,000 with 9,995 used. So let's go here. All right, let's do this. So now I got 80,000 with 9,995 used. Okay, so we got 80,000 limit. with 9,995 used, um, how much is my utilization? So let's see. So now his utilization just went from 12, I mean, it went from 100% to 12.49. So when it went to 12.49, now he just kicked in his 165 points back to his file. So his score went back up. All right. Now, when his score went back up, what we do is we go take out an installment loan, because installment loans don't affect the they don't affect the score, they only affect the DTI, which is the debt to income ratio. All right. So go take out the installment loan, and when he take the installment loan, he's gonna come back and pay the revolving debt with the installment loan. Now he just re-optimized his file. Whew. Man, that was deep. That's what I really wanted to touch on tonight, man. Listen, that's what I wanted to touch on tonight. I know this video was long. Let me stop this screen share. Let me come over here and move this off. This is what I do though. You know, um, this is what I do. This is how I teach. This is what I help people do. Um, my brother always say, Joe want to get away from the credit business and this and that. Um, but my thing is, right, at the end of the day, um, credit has a certain energy that's attached to it. And that energy is usually the reality that that person is facing. So like I say, if I'm dealing with a single mother, right, parent, or a single parent, and they lease about to be up in 3 months, and they know that they're not going to be able to get a new lease because of their credit, right? It's a certain energy that's attached to that situation, right? And me, I'm a builder. So I try to make sure I need 100% of my energy. And I don't want to help the wrong people, that's going to drain my energy. So I need people that understand that everything is a process. Um, Nothing happens overnight, but you have to put your best foot forward to get it done, and it can be done. You know. So this was a good video tonight, man. So I appreciate y'all for locking in. Make sure you share this video. If you need help with anything, make sure you message me. You could go to my website, which is joemartinassoc.com. It's joemartinassoc.com. Um, Go to that site. And if you enjoyed this, okay, if you enjoyed this um, class tonight, right? If you're on YouTube and you out there in that universe and you want to bless me because I just been a blessing, I really appreciate it, and make sure y'all share this video. Okay. This is my cash out. Let's put that on there. Okay. We're gonna go ahead and put that on there. So if y'all, if you want to bless me for being a blessing on this video, because this video had a lot of information. This is one of my classes that I sell for 997. Okay. Um, this is a class that I sell for 997. And I just really wanted to break it down so I could share this information with you all. But if you need a coach and a mentor, you need somebody to really stand on business and really teach you and show you things, I'm here. I'm here for that. So, with that being said, what I want y'all to do also, tell me, what type of business do you have? You know, Make sure you leave a comment. Tell me what kind of business you have. Let's talk about it. I own a software company, so I help businesses scale. My thing is, I have three systems. I have a personal credit system, which is mentoring. I help a person get where they need to be. I have a business credit system that we use to make sure that we build the business on a fundable foundation. So it's like cutting on the faucet of working capital that's going to always run, right? And I also have a business development system, which is a software that we use to capture unlimited leads. And when I come back on another video, what we'll do is we'll talk about um, the core elements of business and how to get unlimited leads, unlimited business, so that you could keep the cash flow coming in, right? Because cash flow is the main ingredient, because you can't have good credit without cash flow. Okay. So I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all have a good day. Y'all have a good day. That's the cash out right there. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you drop something in there. It don't matter, you know, it don't matter what it is. I appreciate everything. And I hope y'all enjoyed this. So I would holler at y'all later. Y'all be good. We out. And I'll see y'all later. Peace. We gone.